words that the editor puts on in the covers here, and the words this time read, "I will fall in love with you today and tomorrow." And what's interesting about that is Ruka, Sumi, Mami, and Yamori are all looking forward, whereas Chizuru is looking at us as she's walking forward. It's almost like Chizuru's love is present today while she is walking forward, whereas the other characters are only looking forward, showing the contrast between them and how Chizuru goes about her love. In a lot of ways, you could interpret the cover from maybe Kazuya's perspective. This is interesting. I knew this was going to be a lead cover page for the magazine, so it makes sense to draw something like this. It just makes a lot of sense. Anywho, My Girlfriend and That Time, Part 2. Chapter 305. Huh? His face. Huh? Usually my first 2 days are really heavy. Heavier than most people anyway. Trying to hide it will only make you worry about the other stuff. We're living together too. Chizuru frames the reason she tells Kazuya as if she's doing this because they're living together because of that. In reality, the real reason is shown later. That's something I wanted to say about the last chapter. I guess you guys get a little glimpse here. Chizuru sharing this information is a huge deal in of itself because this is a very private matter. It doesn't matter where you're living. United States, other countries. Oh my god, United States, other countries. I'm sorry, just gonna put this out there. United States is a show, just like other countries have their own versions of shit shows. But what I'm trying to get at is, regardless of where you're from, this is a very personal topic. This is something that's very sensitive. It's not easy to discuss. Some people maybe don't have a hard time discussing it, but most people do. It's not something you just open up about. It's something very personal. And this is fundamental to Chizuru's character. We went from having like an emotional kind of opening up to a form of trust, and is being conveyed because of how Kazuya is trying to be supportive and be there for her. She doesn't want him to misunderstand. She doesn't want him to do all of this and not do it for the right thing, right? But at the same time, what she says here is kind of important. Now, she does close her eyes and there is an element of distantness. So this is kind of the truth and this kind of isn't. I know a lot of people immediately when they see Chizuru close her eyes, they think to themselves, oh, Chizuru's just lying immediately. There is, the way he draws the expression can tell you more if you just study it a little more. This is one of those scenes, which is why she's acting like this. Sorry, but I don't really have an appetite right now. I can see that you put a lot of thought into everything, but I guess I just wasted your time. See, that's why. It's like she felt like she wasted his time. She felt like he put a lot of effort in. Sorry, right? And this is the real expression right here. That's more akin to her true feelings, which is that she's just grateful that Kazuya made this for her. That's what she wanted to convey. She's just happy Kazuya did this for her. That's why she tells him what she tells him. But at the same time, there is a part of her that kind of feels bad, you know? She feels like Kazuya did all of this, but she doesn't have an appetite. She's not going to eat his food. She feels bad. Kazuya worked so hard, and it was for something he completely misunderstood. But even though it was a misunderstanding, she didn't want his efforts to go unnoticed. And in that same exact way, those feelings of not wanting his efforts to go unnoticed are made physical through her actions later in the chapter. Like, you know the phrase, when you believe something hard enough, or when you have something in the back of your mind, it eventually comes true? Well, you can say that happens in this chapter. It's really well done. Okay, Chizuru leaves. Kazuya looks. Yeah, he looks a little distraught. That's a fucking alien.
We are.
What? Encounter with the unknown. Yeah, right? It's like Kazuya does know about this because we've seen him talk about this before, by the way. I think it was like chapter 45 or 41 or something. It was like the introduction of Sumi's character, but Kazuya's never like actually interacted with it in such a fashion. So for him, this is a really weird thing. I love that he drew a fucking alien. Huh? Who? What? Who are you? Huh? What? Her period. Mizuhara's. Clearly what she said, right? I mean, yeah, of course she has one. God, what should I do about this? What a virgin needs in this situation is a sister. Actually, that's correct. Yeah, he got a point though. Period symptoms. Okay. The alien's just sitting right there. That's so funny. Second day of my period. My stomach's killing me and my head hurts. My back's pretty bad too. I'm tired all the time. I lost my appetite and get so depressed when I'm on my period. Am I the only one? I hate periods so much. Again, Reiji is writing this from a place of understanding, and it feels like he probably talked to his wife. He probably talked to like some friends and shit like that. It makes sense. The way he presented it didn't feel like something he just kind of like, oh, here, I know what I'm talking about. Especially like when you look at how Minnie talks in last chapter, the way Minnie talks about it, it's like, it's not like a thing you just tell to a guy. Like Minnie, who's usually super open to Kazuya about like literally everything, is now kind of like reserved, kind of like, just let her be, just don't worry about it. She knows Kazuya will do something regardless. When you know that Minnie knows that, kind of explains a lot that it's a very sensitive topic. A lot of people who probably recognize how these things are talked about would probably immediately recognize what was going on. I didn't, because personally I haven't experienced this very much. I haven't heard people talk about this. I also recognize how people discuss things, and that made it click for me in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense now. God, it's hopeless. There's so many. Everyone's saying different things. Seriously, is Mizuhara okay? She even said it's heavier than most people. She also tends to put a strong front. Is there anything that I can do for her? Honestly, I don't even want to be in the same room as people. I hate looking so miserable in front of them. Oh, we're gonna see Chizuru looking like shit. We're gonna see Chizuru looking like shit. And then Kazuya's gonna talk to Minnie. Kimari, Kimari. I wonder what that's implying. That's so funny. Yeah, the dark dolphin with the sheep. Later, ancient tomb. Old painter crazy about art. What did I just listen to? What did I read? It's almost like it's Alien. I love how he draws the alien with him. What are you doing? Did you lose your key? What? Whoa, hey! Come here. The alien's just following along. I love it. Shh, go through here, quietly. The front door's noisy. I left the side door open. What are you doing? So Mizuhara's on her time of the month. Oh, she told you. Did you ask? Oh, yeah, this is the shot that Reiji drew. This is the shot Reiji shared. It was an early shot. How to get to that? You're not very subtle, huh? I can't believe you got her to tell you. I freaking knew it. You knew the whole time. No, it just happened. What do I do? What am I supposed to do about it? Hey, Yamori-san, I'll give you some rice porridge. Help me out. Come on now, just calm down. The way you're freaking out about it is straight up cringe. I fucking love Minnie, dude. I don't know if she actually talks like this in Japanese, but it's really funny that the translations made her talk like a YouTuber. I think that's pretty funny. There's not much you can do about this kind of thing, you know? You can stop whispering now. When it's me, I don't really like being around people, personally. That's why I already made plans to stay at my friend's place for today, too. I'm just here to drop some things off. Really? But I don't think you gotta go as far as leaving the house. Chizuru-san won't be mad. I can leave my stuff here. It was just in case. Sure. Oh, there. I like that this is who the Who Are You is. I love that that's who the Who Are You is, because a lot of us were probably like, oh, it's Ruka, it's this, it's that. It's just some fucking alien conjured by Kazuya's imagination that even Minnie interacts with. That's so good. Seriously? I should just leave her alone? Is that all I can do? What should I do? Wake up, people, wake up. Here comes the zooming centipede. What the fuck are you on about? This line further proves my point that Kazuya does know how to talk about this. I've seen people try to make it out as if this is a Japanese thing, that Japanese people look at it this way. No, if anything, that's borderline racist. I think people referring to it that way is only isolating a culture when really they treat it the same way that we do. It's just a private thing that is not easy to talk about, but Kazuya does understand what it is. He's not a fucking idiot. Reiji is just showing it this way to show how confusing it can feel for people who maybe don't get to talk about this comfortably, who in a culture where we oftentimes don't discuss sex or don't discuss the human body, especially when it comes to girls, where it's always presented as like a weird, uncomfortable topic we should never touch. Whereas Reiji is willingly tackling this sensitive topic and not shying away from it, not shying away from the fact that these things exist and it's totally normal, and let's not pretend it doesn't happen. He's not presenting it like Chizuru's going ooh woo and all moe and all of that stupid crap. No, Chizuru's just being Chizuru. The jokes in the chapter are around the topic. It makes fun of it in a way that's endearing rather than something that misrepresents it. Reiji has Kazuya looking up symptoms. Reiji has Kazuya going through the details of trying to understand what it's like so he can try and empathize and support his partner. It's clearly coming from a place of understanding, trying to understand this topic so you can empathize with your partner rather than alienating someone by showing it as something that's weird. In the process, normalizing the discussion around it. The alien is sitting with him! Yes! God, no, I can't sit still anymore. I mean, while I'm just lying in bed, Mizuhara could be going through all kinds of pain. Finding the alien is like finding Waldo now. Like, it's not even hard, but I love just looking for him. It's like, oh, the alien, the alien. I don't hear her making any noise either. Does that mean she's been passed out this whole time? Maybe I should open the curtain. Anything could happen. Just in case she needs help or something. I love how caring he is and how that caring element of his character is literally turning on him when he feels helpless, when he feels like he can't do anything. When it's me, I don't really like being around people. Honestly, I don't even want to be in the room. I hate looking so miserable in front of people. Ugh. I can't. What am I doing? Seriously. Everything's telling me that I should just leave her alone. Reminding her that I'm here will only bother her more. That's the exact opposite of what I want. In the first place, Mizuhara might not even want any help from me. This is the first time we've been alone at night in this house, and it's like the least of my concerns right now. I'm useless. I'm so useless. This is what anxiety feels like. So yeah, Reiji takes this and makes it into like a brilliant thing where you really want to help your significant other. You really want to help the people that you love, but you feel useless because you can't do anything. Mizuhara, is she going to the bathroom? God, this is the worst place she could find me. No, no, it's too late. Huh? What? She looks like shit. I love her. What are you doing? This is the worst. Cleaning! I found a huge clump of dust. I just made it sound like her house is filthy. Damn it, I keep messing everything up. Sorry for scaring you. Are you feeling okay? Yeah. Huh? What? Something's obviously wrong with her, and she's chibi! She's tiny! Yeah. Just look at how groggy she is. This isn't like Mizuhara at all. Going to the bathroom. Yeah, okay, sorry. Never mind, I'll just go back to my room. There really is nothing I can do. Hey, huh? Is there any rice porridge left? Oh my god, look at the shit show. Yes! I'm coming in. Okay. He's nursing her. Ah. Ah, he's nursing her. That's awesome. Yeah, no, okay, this chapter's brilliant. It took everything I was expecting and kind of flipped it on its head. I was explaining this whole feeling of uselessness earlier on here, and then what Reiji does is he takes that, flips it on its head. It's like, even if you can't really help, you can still help. Your actions matter. You made choices that you think were right. Whether they were right or wrong is up to you and the circumstances you find yourself in. So Kazuya choosing to stay home, Kazuya choosing to be supportive of Chizuru ended up being a good thing. And then Minnie leaving is good for her. Maybe she made Chizuru comfortable. We don't know. That's the important part of this, is like there's multiple answers to the situation, and it's like I was right, Minnie was right, and Kazuya was right. We're all right. Look at this. I love the shit show. I love the shit show. She looks amazing. Like Chizuru looking like shit, wanting help, wanting support. Chizuru who needs family, who needs love and support, who has been looking for that despite the trauma she suffered up until now. Having Kazuya in the home and just like willingly relying on him like this is huge. Chizuru probably wouldn't want to be alone here. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Chizuru already hates being fucking alone. So Kazuya being in the home, supporting her, helping her out when she's feeling like shit is a huge deal here. That's why when she says, got any rice porridge left? It makes the last chapter have meaning. In the beginning of this chapter, Reiji made the last chapter feel like it doesn't have any meaning, right? Now it's like, no. Last chapter had meaning. Your actions, however small, have meaning. That's the thing for Kazuya's character is many people are just like, we want immediate gratifying change for Kazuya's character, but Kazuya isn't like usual protagonists. A lot of protagonists these days, like when they change, there's no going back. Kazuya's character is grappling with real anxiety in a short word. And in that way, you start to really see how crippling anxiety is. No matter how much confidence, no matter how much you try, you feel useless. You feel like you can't do something. So sometimes you need the other person to just push you in the right direction. And so when you're having Kazuya being all sad, having these great jokes that intertwine in between, what it does is it allows for those character moments to feel natural. It makes the transition here feel natural because you go from this like sad, depressing thing to like a funny moment, and it removes that sadness from Kazuya's head. It makes Kazuya look things a little bit differently. When things are funny and silly, it makes you laugh and it makes you feel better. Again, this kind of reminded me of like the whole Kaguya Shinomiya thing after like she's like happy like Miyuki confessed to her or something, or he didn't confess to her. I don't remember, but this is the opposite. This is literally the opposite. Like Chizuru, who's usually large, who feels large and expansive, who's like very like empowering when she walks. Now that she's tired and exhausted, she's a shit show. She's fucking tiny, right? So it's this joke, 10 out of 10. It's so funny. It's so funny. Like Chizuru just being a small little fucking shit show and just walking around and just like, look at her. She's such a mess. Her hair is a mess. She looks like a mess, but she still has that lovable aura about her. She still looks like Chizuru. I also love that this isn't a spread. That also actually perfectly works into this, right? Like usually Reiji does these big spreads to express the characters, right? But Chizuru is such a shit show. She doesn't get a spread. It's the same exact, the panel is the same exact size as a spread, but it's not a spread because she's tiny. It matches the joke. It matches the joke. And now these words that seem small, that just seem like a little thing on the side of a panel that would usually be a spread, have a lot more meaning, right? It's literally paneled like a spread. And I think from what we've seen from the next chapter, it's going to be part 3. From what we've seen of next chapter, it seems like Chizuru is going to talk to Kazuya about something very personal, very emotional. For instance, when they visit Chizuru's home for the first time, and she talks to Kazuya about her family and a lot of things that she was going through. So we might learn more about Chizuru's family in the next chapter, and in the process, see how Kazuya evolves and changes through that. There is a lot of stuff kind of happening here that like very deeply connects to what's going on with the characters, and an aspect of it is generational trauma. So Chizuru not wanting to be alone, Chizuru feeling sick, feeling like shit, but she's okay with Kazuya seeing her like that, or maybe she's just so exhausted she doesn't fucking care, right? That's a big factor too here. Is like Chizuru is so exhausted, so burned out, she doesn't fucking care, and it's the opposite of other people who don't want people around. Chizuru is a person who usually doesn't have people around, whereas other people regularly have people around. So usually the thing you have is the thing you don't fucking want. Contrast, Chizuru is usually alone. She doesn't have people. She's had to deal with this alone this entire fucking time. So it's the opposite for her. She wants the person that she deeply loves and connects with to be in her life. Just as last chapter showed that too, in how Chizuru opening up to Kazuya about something like this is important, not just so it doesn't have a misunderstanding occur, but to convey to Kazuya that, hey, I don't want you to misunderstand why you worked this hard. I don't want it to feel like a waste. And in the beginning, she literally tells you, like, I'm sorry you did all this. It was all a waste. Plot twist, it wasn't. Oh, the spread mirrors the other one. Reiji did the same thing as my chapter 302 review. Chapter 302, Reiji does this thing where he has Chizuru's home life intertwined with her school life, and he has these two panels mirroring each other. Here, you have this panel, which is Chizuru seemingly okay, and she tells him there, like, it's a waste, I don't need anything. Plot twist, not a waste. She's a shit show. Can you give me the thing, please? When you're sick, sometimes you tell yourself, I'm not hungry, I don't need any food. All of a sudden, you're like, that thing they made actually sounds pretty good right about now. This is why it's showing Kazuya's actions do matter. And it's okay to want to deeply connect to your partner and really feel close to them like that. I think that's the important thing of this series is like everybody wants Kazuya to be super self-reliant, grow and change on his own. And it's like, that's not a bad thing, but he has to find himself. He has to get out of the usual area that he's usually in and really find himself. And Kazuya is finding himself. He is changing. He's experiencing these things he doesn't usually get to. And a lot of people refuse to admit that we actually oftentimes change as a byproduct of other people, not simply for ourselves. We all have different things and we all have different ways of growing and improving ourselves. And this is where we continue our earlier segment where Kazuya's food was not made in vain. The thing Chizuru said at the very start of the chapter ends up being wrong. And the real feelings, the things she felt early on because she was appreciative of what he did, the fact that he made her food, the fact that he did all of this effort, come into play in a different way. Now that she has no filters, now that she doesn't care, now that she's groggy and burned out, she feels hungry. Coming back to that core feeling of appreciation that Kazuya did something, of Kazuya just being there. The way the chapter starts is the way the chapter ends, but with the core idea that was presented at the very start, Chizuru's appreciation of Kazuya and what he made for her. The thing he made, the thing he put his love and heart into, the thing he felt useless for not being able to give her, now he gets to give her. Hey there, me later, editing this. So I split the video into 2 parts. Simply put, I have a lot to say and I didn't want it to be all crammed into a reaction video portion. So if you guys are interested, go check out the other video that I'll hopefully be uploading around the time of this video. The videos very much complement each other and there's a lot of information I did not put into this one. For instance, there is actually a movie reference in this chapter, but I don't tell you which one it is. I do kind of hint at it, but I don't tell you which one it is. The video is going to tell you which one it is. So yeah, go check that out. I did want to say I'm also working on the other chapters that I haven't uploaded yet. I will be getting those out. Don't you worry, but I wanted to focus on this one first because, you know, latest chapter and all. However, if you did enjoy this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, keep up with the uploads and support me. And of course, I do have a Patreon. Shout out to Andre, Andrew, I'm not 100% sure, for supporting me. They were my first supporter, and if you guys would like to support me as well, the link is down below. With that being said, I've been Fate. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and remember, let's mosey. Cheers, see ya in the other one.